one of you stayed around. How are we looking from a sound perspective? Can you guys hear me now? Or am I still Mr. Roboto? Are we back? Is it fixed? Is it not fixed? Sounds great. Okay. Man, that was frustrating. That was really frustrating. Okay. Okay. Good. I'm glad it's back. Okay. Right. So, we're talking about putting the case back together. Yeah. This is this is where we're up to. So I'm just going to pop the case back on there because the next thing to do is work out how we can get the plate and PCB working together. So I may need to rip this bag open in a second. Audio good. This is where we tell Jake that mine was fine all along. Ha 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 ha. It wouldn't surprise me if you guys was like coordinating that. This is where I get bollocks for all of the pings that it's going to give me as well. I feel really frustrated. Okay, so we have a lovely, beautiful, new PCB, brand new PCB. So what we need to do is we need to work out, and this is where I hope that Flex is still on here. What we do need to do is we need to break off this USB port just here. Focus, please. Focus. There. We need to break off this USB port here and then solder the JST cable to here. Oh no, what's my PC telling me?
Very nice.
Clack Labs, thank you very much. That is very, very nice of you to subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for that, dude. Appreciate that. Okay, I think we're okay on that front. I think we can get the PCB working. The question's going to be, how do we actually screw the case together once the PCB is in place? So, just need to work out where the screws are going to be, roughly. Okay, so I can definitely get to these two.
Very nice.
Thank you very much for OJFW20 for the subscription, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. We can definitely get to this screw and this screw. These two screws are going to prove to be slightly more problematic. So we have at least two screws that we know we can access. The other screws in the bottom here, well, they're going to line up to pretty much nowhere. So we are going to have that issue. And the last thing I want to do is drill holes in the PCB. But this may be something that we have to do. Like, I have no idea where's safe to drill on the PCB and where's not safe to drill. You don't think the south-facing spacebars are going to fit? So the interesting thing about the Heine one is you can have the spacebars either way around. Look, if you look here, you can see the spacebars go either way round. They're designed to go both ways, so we can always trim it if we need to. If we need to trim it, we can. But yeah, you're probably right. It's probably not going to fit. But we can probably just snap that bit off there and there, and here and here. Just there. We can probably snap those bits off and put the stabilizer the other way around. The trick is, will they work then with the plate? So the good news is, everything should work with the plate. So ISO works with the plate. Yeah, ISO should work with the plate. Backspace will work with the plate. Spacebar will work with the plate. Ooh, if we use north-facing spacebar. So there we go. Oh, very nice. Thank you very much for OJFW20 gifting 5 tier 1 subs, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Ooh, very nice.
That is very, very, very nice of you. And thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. And everyone who got a gift sub. Thank you.
Ooh, very nice.
Just try and get the PCB working with a broken off USB before fixing the rest. Yeah, I know it's difficult. Winky or winkeyless? There you go. Winkeyless.
Ooh, very nice.
Ooh, very nice.
Ooh,
done right.
Very nice.
Yeah, winkeyless is always the best way. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit better. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the PCB for the stabilizers.
Ooh, very nice.
And we're going to go with south-facing ones here. And then we're going to just pray that everything works. So we're just going to clip these off. Okay. Just going to neaten that up a little bit. Okay, there we go. And just do this one here as well. Okay. So that's the bottom of the PCB sorted. So now we know it will definitely fit in the case. And we can use a north-facing stabilizer wire. Just going to trim some of this a little bit more. Just make sure it's nice and neat and even. There we go. You admire the dedication to the ISO. Yeah, Kimchi Donut Boy, we are trying to make a highly PCB work in a Keycult board. Theoretically, it should work. The big unknown I have right now, is how do I get the base to stick to the middle? Because I won't be able to put the screws through the plate in the PCB assembly. That's the trick right now. That's the big worry I have. Everything else, I think we'll be okay. Most of these, because we want ISO is the reason we're not using the included one. We just want ISO, so that's the reason for not including it. Okay, here the music stopped. Why is it stopped? There we go. Is that commission color, Jay? I don't remember that being a blue one. It's not blue, it's purple. It's just the lighting in here isn't going to show you. It's actually that color there. As I hold it in this position, that's the color of the board. It's like a really dark purple color, not blue. It's just the way the lighting is in here. For reference, this is SA Phantom. So this is SA Phantom. It's gonna. Why does it look so different? Right next to each other here in real life, these look the same. They look identical. I don't know why it looks so blue. I have no idea why it looks so blue, but it's not blue. I promise you, it is purple. It is purple. ISO is my preferred layout. I'm from the UK, so there you go. What? It's not scuffed at all, Singapore. It's literally the color of everyone else's number 2. It's just my camera lighting in here that's showing it this way. Let me see if I can adjust the lighting and show you guys. Let's see if I can adjust the lighting and show you guys. There we go. Put something a little bit more natural. There you go. That's closer to how it looks in real life. It's much more of a purple color. But I don't like the lighting like that because I can't see very well. So the color you see on this side, that's closer to it. That's closer to the color. It's 100% purple. I promise you it's 100% purple. I know the lighting makes it look blue, but it's not. Just lighting things. It's the same as everybody else's SA Phantom Keycult. It's exactly the same. It's just the lighting here, that's all. I respect the pursuit of ISO. Thanks, man. You're going to have some things that we hold sacred in this hobby. Right, okay. So, I'm confident we can now get the plate and the PCB assembly in here. The next job is going to be to actually cut off the USB port. Now, this seems to be the part that causes most problems for people. And I think it's because whilst it's perforated here to snap off, a lot of people don't cut the traces first. So I think what we're going to try and do is I'm going to try and find my knife and we're going to try and cut the traces first. In fact, give me 5 seconds, guys. I'm going to go and grab my knife because I've just realized it's not in here. And I'm going to cut the traces first. I'm back in 1 second. Okay, we have a knife now. let's see if we can. If the Heine PCB doesn't work, I'd suggest nabbing one of the Wilbur graphite PCBs. It's got ISO and it looks like it's got the screw holes. Yeah, we will do. This was just the way I'd always planned it, and this was the option at the time. So we'll go with this. And if we can't get it to work today, hey, it's been waiting 6 months. I'm sure that one more week or month isn't going to hurt it while we achieve something else. I'm just trying to, at the minute, just score across where we need to cut. Okay, looks like we've cut through the traces there. I'll show you guys that up close. So it looks like we've cut through the traces, and now we should be ready to snap off. Just gonna give it another couple more pulls, and then we'll snap it off from there. There we go. Okay. So I'm pretty confident we've cut the traces there. So then the next job, why has my knife got so scuffed all of a sudden? Interesting. Next job is going to be to snap off the USB port. And I'm really conscious that I could be ruining a $50 PCB here. But this is what we've got to do. It's the Geico knife, yeah, guys. Yeah, he's got a knife. I have. Yeah, so what we can do is we can snap off the USB the USB part here, and we can use a daughter board plugged into this part here. Snap off there, daughter board into here. Wilbur graphite is compatible. It might be, but I don't have one of those. I do have one of these. I'm really, really nervous, dude. Sweet. Let's live vicariously. Let's not do this. If we're going for scuff, then YOLO, right? That's the way you need to think about this. We're going to try it, and we're going to live and learn on the fly. Like, we're going to do it. This PCB was bought for this purpose. It was bought to handle this. So if this doesn't work, I've not lost anything. It's that way. This is the way we're doing it. You're thinking like a poor person. I am a poor person. I don't have a job anymore, guys. Right, okay. I don't want to snap this off by hand. I feel like I want to try and clip it off. It's done. It's done. It's actually a really neat cut as well. I think we scored it nicely. You see that? It's quite neat. There's some little bits of PCB left over. We're just going to trim them off nicely. If I can get the flush cutters in. If we can't have a scuffed build with a Keycult board, what board can we have a scuffed build with? Okay, that's neat. I'm happy. If anyone would like the sacrificial USB, it's going in the bin, so you can't have it. Okay, that was difficult job number 1 done in the pursuit of ISO. Let's well, next job actually is to build up the board. So let's do that. Let's put the board together. I'm not going to test it. I'm gonna trust that my snipping skills worked. I'm gonna trust this. I'm gonna assume that this is working. And I think it's time to just build up the PCB and plate assembly. And let's see where we get to. You have to remember, guys, as well, I do have the original PCB. I do have the original plate, so I can always rebuild this if need be. Like if we're scuffing this up, we're literally scuffing up one PCB and one plate, and we're not even scuffing up the plate. We're just scuffing up the PCB. So I can always desolder, buy the Wilbur graphite. We're golden, right? We're golden. So we're living vicariously. We're learning on the edge. we're going to be A-okay. So these are the stabilizers we're using. They've got a bit of fluff in them. Let's try and clear that out. Let's just dismantle these because they've got a bit of fluff in from the packaging. So let's dismantle these and make them all right. It won't. Bet you a set of stabs it won't. I already bought these off you, otherwise I'd take them. These have been lubed. Why have these been lubed? These have got lube on. I didn't lube these. Did I? I'm 90% sure I didn't lube these. Oh, it was just the spacebar one that was lubed. Okay. Wait, yeah, okay. We don't need to use a spacebar wire anyway, because we're going to have to use a 7U spacebar wire. And that's not 7U, pretty sure. Okay. Did you use lavenders before? Yeah, I've used lavenders before in a build, yeah. Loving Jay's optimistic view. Hey, guys, look, guys, this is just a fun build, right? This is just having a bit of fun, right? If this doesn't work, the board's been sat in my collection waiting to be built for a long time. It doesn't look like it's a 7U. It doesn't look like it's 7U. It just doesn't feel like a 7U. Yeah, I can't remember if I bought them and had them shipped to you, or if you just proxied them for me. I can't remember how we did it now, but I'm pretty sure that's not a 7U spacebar. Let's see. Let's see. So out of my box of spacepars, I'm going to get a 7U and a 6.25U. So we've got a 7U and a 6.25U. Let's see which this one measures up against. This is the one that you sent me, Full. This is a 6.25U stabilizer I bought. So the one from Full that he claims is 7U. This is a 6.25 that I've just taken out of a box. Oh, well, will you look at that? That looks to me to be a 6.25U spacebar. Full, I want a refund. I want a refund, dude. You sent me a 6.25U spacebar instead of a 7U. I knew it. I'm joking. I don't want a refund. Okay. Is it better to solder JST first? Probably. But I was just going to solder it from the underside anyway. I wasn't going to solder it through, was I? I don't know. Let's have a look. This is where I might be tempted to have a look at the JST. I promise you, dude. I just showed you. It was 6.25U. I promise you. I promise you. But thank you very much, dude. I can't remember if I paid you for them or not. If I didn't, let me know how much I owe you. I'll gladly pay for them. I always forget how tight these are to get out. Okay, so this is the backup PCB. And I'm going to destroy this wire. I hope that the Wilbur Graphite PCB. Someone send me the link. Someone please DM me the link to the Wilbur Graphite PCB, so I can definitely buy one of these if this is scuff. Someone just send me that link, please. Like, just send it. Okay. Now what I need to work out is which one of these correlates. It doesn't say which one of these correlates to the right parts on the PCB. This is where I'm hoping that that Flex is still in the chat, because I need to work out which color cable. Right. Okay. Thanks. Someone's DM me that link. Oh, hold on. Does it definitely have? Okay. Okay. I'm just buying this now, just because then it's done. Right, I'm literally just checking it out right now. And then I've got it. Salvin can't ship to me. Great. Salvin cannot ship to me. Check your Discord DMs, Jay. Ah, legend. So with the cable coming out, right? So Flex. So I'm looking at this. So according to your diagram here, red is V bus, white is D minus. Yellow is D positive. And then black is ground, right? Is that the order, Flex? Is that the order? That's the way I'm interpreting your diagram, I think. It's been like a year or two since I sent this. It's been about a year, yeah. It's been about a year, yeah. Okay. So this looks like it needs to be black into ground. Okay, okay. Yeah, he says. Yep. Okay. Right. Let's just do this, shall we? Let's just do this. This is where I wish I had my electrical trimmers. You can tell how much I planned for this build stream by assembling all the parts and then not paying attention to anything I needed to actually do for the build stream. Like, this is scuffed as all hell. It's just... trim these wires a little bit so we can see some wire. Whoops. Come on. Well, this isn't working. Oh, stop cutting it. You can tell I did two just fine, and then the white one just does not want to listen to me. There we go. Okay, there we go. No one can ship to UK currently. It's bid sagged. Yeah, I'll drop Salvin a DM because we can business to business. You can do. It's likely just a customer thing, so I'll message him and I'll sort that out after the stream. Jay just butchering electrical components on stream. Yeah, man, scuff builds are the best builds. Salvin, because I can't buy one from you, dude. I can't buy one from you. I literally can't buy one. I just tried to do this on stream, Salvin. I just tried to buy one from you, and it says it can't ship to me. So I would have used that PCB if I could, but it tells me no. It tells me that I can't have one. So we're not doing that. We're just going to butcher this tiny PCB and just see if it can work. Why not? Why not? Salvin's so toxic. Nah, Salvin's a great guy. Wilbur's here as well. Hey, Wilbur. Thanks for joining, man. You're in my Discord DMs. I know. I don't like to worry. I've seen you have issues with your machines recently, and I've seen you have some good results with it as well. So I'm hoping things are on the mend. I didn't want to detract from your work there, dude. But you know, we can try this, see if it works. Like we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Pona's here as well. Hey man, good to see you, dude. Good to see you. My Juby's just there, man. My Juby's literally just there. And I think you can probably see the Equinox. Oh, no, not quite. The Equinox is just behind me as well. Wilbur, these poor Brits, man. Bricks is killing us. It's literally killing us. It's not good. Minimum orders for UK orders is 160 euros. Yeah, it's because of the whole VAT thing. So if you want to buy something under £135, the company you're buying from, if it's outside of the UK, has to be registered for VAT inside the UK and pay quarterly payments to the government for VAT payments. And that goes for every single company that's outside of the UK right now. So if it's a non-UK company, that's what they have to do. Even if they only sell one item, they have to be completely tax registered. For items over £135, which is about 150 euros, it's a little bit easier and tax is paid on import. But yeah, anything under that, it's very, very difficult right now. It's such a bad thing. And the worst thing is that Europe itself is going to bring in the same rule from the 1st of July. So if it's anywhere outside of Europe, as a business, you have to be registered in Europe to be able to qualify. And at the minute the way it's set up, that would mean 19 different VAT registrations across the 26 member states of the EU, which is a pain. It's a real pain. The graphite is now £150. Problem solved. Thanks, Wilbur. I'd pay you 150 quid for one. I would. So Yeah, so it's bad for the UK right now. It's bad for the EU from the 1st of July, but it should get better for all of us together once everyone's in that boat, and all of the companies outside of the UK and EU have to do that registration. It should become more normalized then. It should become easier to trade. There's still the big issue is between UK and EU. It's very difficult between us two. Just by 5. Just by 5. Right, okay. So I'm just going to go by the the image that I was sent earlier on. So Vebus is... hold on. Okay, so the ground is... Wait. I'm holding this up again. So Vebus 1 is the black. Just here. Flex, you were talking me through this. So the Vebus 1 is the black. The D minus is the yellow. The D positive is the white, and the ground is the red. That seems the wrong way around. It must be the other way around. It must be red is the Vebus, and the ground is black. That must be the right way around, right? Right? Because it's time to solder this on now. It's time to have some fun and solder this on, and make a scuffed build even more scuffed. Scuff everything. Vebus is red. Okay, right. Let me start with Vebus being red, and we'll go from there. Okay. So Vebus, which is the 5-volt rail, is red. Okay. Okay. Let me drop some solder into these, and then we can start to put them through. Where's my solder gone? Vebus is red, so the 5-volt rail is red. Let me drop some solder into these holes. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the Vebus in as we... Okay, so I'm going to try and hopefully not cock this up too much. Okay, so Vebus is in, which means that next is the white, which goes into the D minus. Okay, what would if I aimed it correctly? And then we've got... Okay, that's not working. That's not working. Okay, I'm just going to lay it flat on this side and do it that way around. This might be a little bit easier. Okay, we're going to do the yellow. And then the black. Okay, there we go. It's all soldered. I could use an EU proxy. It's sad because not everyone running keycap sets are getting a UK vendor. Yeah, I'm trying to work on that and get as many in the UK as possible between myself and some other vendors. It's not always possible, but we'll try and do what we can. I wonder how long the UK backlog is for getting a VAT number right now. I think it's about 61 days. The last time I got an update from them, it was about 61 days. Right, should we try this PCB? Should we test it and see if it works? Should we test and see what we get? In fact, actually, I need to load up Switch here because I don't have it loaded. Okay, let me show you guys Switch Header and then let's see what we've got. Okay. Oh, we have underglow, which means the power's working. Let's see if we can get anything to appear in the Switch Header. I'm going to imagine that it's not going to work. No. You may have been right, Full. We may not be getting anything to work here. Yeah, it doesn't like that. The last USB device you connected has not been recognized. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we gave that a try, and we failed. Let's just see if this is my soldering job here. Let me just refresh the soldering. It could be it just needs reflowing. Typing works first few minutes and then dead. Okay. Well, let's just try adding a little bit more solder to these joints and making sure that these joints are okay. Making sure we've got nothing crossed. Okay. Double check that there's no cross threads there. So let's try this. Setting up a H87A. Here we go, guys. Here we go, guys. Let's see if it types in a second. Right, let's see what we get, if anything. Praying for it, guys. Oh, there we go. We are getting life signs out of the PCB. Okay, it's working. It's working. I'm going to take that as a win, and let's go from there. The scuffed Keycult build of the year. Okay, right. Now we've done that, it's time to lube stabilizers. Let's lube some stabilizers and get the board built. Guys, it's all right. Salvan's going to sort me out a PCB. Salvan's going to sort me out a PCB. If I read what you wrote. I know you said a few minutes. I've taken it apart before a few minutes happens. It's fine. Like, if I can get the PCB from Salvan, we're all good. We're all gravy because I can just rebuild it once we get the PCB in. You got a raid? Oh, Yuri, thank you very much. Sorry, Yuri, I completely missed that when deep in the midst of doing a soldering stuff. So thank you very much for that, Yuri. Thank you very much for everyone who joined. We're butchering a Keycult number 2 today to make it ISO layout without using the correct Wilbur PCB. We're trying to use a Heine PCB, and we're going to try to force ISO into a Keycult number 2. We've overcome challenge number 1, which is removing the USB port and soldering in a JST connector. The challenge number 2, after we built the board, will actually be to somehow screw the bottom case on through the top case, as you do with all Keycult number 2s, when there's no holes in the PCB. That's challenge number 2. We're going to try and work that out. But thank you very much, guys, for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Right, let's loop these stabilizers and get these in the board before we get any further. Let's get some lube on here. Whew. Drilling time. Yeah, do you know what, guys? The way this is going to end up, is I'm going to end up desoldering this, and I'm going to end up using the PCB that Salvan and Wilbur are sorting out for me. That's going to be what happens here. I'm 90% positive of it. But where would the fun be if we didn't just try it anyway? Where would the fun be? As Colonel James Rhodes once said, how was it in the Fun V? And no one's going to get that reference. Not a single person is going to get that reference. I have a Unicorn R1. I didn't go for an R2. Just gaffer tape the board together. No need for screws. That's actually plan A. That is plan A. I'll be honest. That is plan A. Someone got the reference. It's not from Spy Kids. I feel like Wilbur and Salvan have all gone now. They dropped in for 5 minutes because they heard I was butchering something and now they've left. YOLO build. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're still crying. I bet you are. Hey guys, it's fine. This is the leaks. The lengths I go to for ISO. Right. This is how important it is to me. This poor Keycult. The Keycult's fine. It's not damaging the board. It's not damaging the board. There's nothing wrong with ISO layout. Just send me one of those. Invoice me for one of those PCBs, Salvan, just in case this doesn't work out. Just invoice me one of those and send me one. I'll pay the bill. I'll pay whatever the shipping is. Because I've got a feeling that where I'm going to end up with this is I'm going to end up desoldering whatever I built today and using that PCB anyway. A Keycult without Wilbur inside is not a real Keycult. Okay, that's fair. We can call it a Shmeeshmalt then. Let's call it the Shmeeshmalt. I have nothing against Wilbur PCBs at all. I think they're amazing. But yeah, the lack of ISO on the one I have is the issue for me. Lack of ISO. Yeah, lack of ISO. I know there's ISO on the graphite. That's why I'm going to get you to send me one, Salvan. That's why you're going to send me one and just invoice me for however much it costs you to get it over here. That's why we're going to do that, because that's what this is going to happen. Let's be honest. I'm going to end up desoldering this because it's going to stop working, and then we're going to end up using the Wilbur PCB instead. But at the time when I bought this board, that PCB didn't exist. That PCB. I mean, I've had this board in my collection without being built for like 9 months now, and I ordered it well over a year ago. In fact, I think it was 2019 when I bought this board. 2019 going into 2020 was when I bought this board. You can call it ICO. It's fine. Definitely needs Wilbur Tech. Well, Salvan's going to send me one of the PCBs and I'm going to pay him for it handsomely. So we'll be good from that perspective. But the stream must go on. And we've got to try these crazy things from time to time. Like, when I paid for and bought this board, that PCB doesn't exist. Okay. Okay, so just lubing up these stabilizers now. These are Duroc V1 stabilizers from Novel Keys that were done in a special purple colorway, which was just a one-off, I understand, from Novel Keys. But it matches the build perfectly, so that's why we're using these. Is this board purple? It is purple. It's just the way the lighting is here in my studio at the minute. It's it looks a little bit blue, but it is purple, I promise you. If you Google Keycult Phantom you should be able to see the color purple it is in real life. I will adjust the lighting towards the end of the stream as well, so you guys can get an accurate reflection of what it looks like. Okay, getting there on the stabilizers now. Not too many more to go. Whoops. If I don't drop my brush. It was probably enough to damage the PCB given how fragile it is. Okay. James is showing pictures. Is that a picture of the Phantom Commission? Yeah, that's a better image of the color. Like in here, the lighting's really not. It's really bright, so I can see what I'm doing, but that washes out the color of purples and anything that's too deep and makes it look a little bit blue. But I can adjust the lighting to something a little bit more suitable when we get to the end of the stream. James takes the weekends off. He has days off, and he likes to sit and watch my streams while he's off. But if you don't like my streams, man, you don't have to watch them. You don't have to be here if you don't want to be. Okay. Okay, almost there now with the stabilizer. Just one more to do after this one, and then we can start to look at the rest of the build. No one has to be here if they don't want to be. If they don't want to watch, if they don't enjoy the content, I'm not going to force people to watch me. I can't force people to watch me. Hey, I would do this if only one person was here. Okay. The real trick for now is deciding where I need to buy color chrome from. I suspect it's going to have to be the Australian vendors. I think that goes. Is that tomorrow that goes live? Or am I a month off? I feel like it's tomorrow. Hey, caught the stream for once. Hey man, welcome Yoni. We're doing the scuffed Keycult build today. Okay, so now we've got the stabilizers all put together and lubed on the wires. We're just going to lube this slider rails. So we just want a very tiny little bit of lube on the brush here. And we're just going to lube the slider rails. And then we're going to pop them in the board. As far as I know, GMK Norse, the designer, has not reached out to me to run it on Prototypist, so that's an unlikely no. That's unlikely to happen, sorry. It's going to be a no. Okay. Scuffed and Keycult are not two words I want to hear in the same sentence. Hey man, you only live once. I'm not using the original Keycult PCB. I'm using an aftermarket Heine PCB, and we're just going to try and get it to all work today. I want an ISO Keycult. That's literally it. I've already had the same chat with Salvin and Wilbur, and I'll be picking up one of Wilbur's PCBs that's available on Salvin's website, hopefully soon to rebuild this with anyway. So we'll probably do a take 2 of this stream at some point. Okay. Nothing wrong with the Heine PCB? No, nothing wrong with Heine PCBs. It just doesn't. It isn't designed for this board, and it doesn't fit in this board. So, whereas the Wilbur PCB does. But at the time when I bought all of this equipment, the Wilbur PCB that supported ISO in a TKL was not available. It's a more recent thing. Like, I've had this board for 8 or 9 months, and it's well over a year since I paid for it. It's like 18 months nearly since I paid for it. So I've been slowly gathering the parts for it over the past 18 months. Did you pick up for an Onyx for myself? If so, what color did you go with? Yes, I did. I went for the green one. And I plan to put GMK Botanical with it. That's my current plan. Okay, last stabilizer now, just back on the spacebar, just lubing the rails. And then we'll be ready to insert the stabilizers into the board. Okay. Okay, there we go. Stabilizers are now lubed. Let's see about getting these into the board. Just wondering if I'm going to need to get some little washers to hold this in place, or if it's actually going to hold. I'm not 100% certain, but let's try it and see. It's going to hold. It's good. Onyx was slept on, so good. Yeah, Onyx was really good board. I'm really excited to see how that one comes out. Okay. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to find some washers for that just to hold it in place. I think I have something here. He says, okay. So the screws, because of where we had to clip the Heine PCB, they're not quite holding in place properly, but I do have some little washers here that will fix that. So let's fix it. Yeah, Onyx looks really good. I'm actually really excited for that board. I think it's going to do... I think a lot of people will be disappointed when it comes in they didn't pick one up. Have to save all my key money to throw at James and Flexman. There are other designers worth considering too. Okay, so that's the stabilizer held in there. Next, it's time to pop it in the ISO enter stabilizer. He says, unable to get its clip in. Come on. There we go. Got the Onyx in blue, probably going to pair well with CRP Arabic. Yeah, Arabic will be a great fit for that. Going to be a spend a year this year. Every year in keyboards is a spend a year. Or it can be. Okay, there we go. Next, we're just going to drop in the backspace one. Checking for that Salman DM. No dice. He's decided not to send me one of those PCBs. I spent 135 US dollars in 2021. I have no idea what I've spent on keyboards this year, but it's more than that. Okay. And then we've got the full-size shift to pop in, which we're going to pop in now. And then that's it. I don't know why I did all the stabilizers. Why did I lube all the stabilizers when I didn't have to? There we go. Propsy, you know that most of my boards are in ISO layout. You know that this is the thing. Yeah, I definitely need to decide where to buy colour chrome from. I think it's going to have to be the Aussie vendors, just given the way Brexit is and everything. I think that's going to be where it's best priced for me from. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Okay, so stabilizers are in. Next job is to grab the ISO plate and start to pop some switches in, and then hope that everything lines up. I selectively remember things. You know me well enough, dude, to know that I like to build an ISO. Okay. Let's just make sure that that all fits. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, I got it upside down. That would help. I was confused for a second there. Like, really confused. I was thinking, why isn't my spacebar lining up? And it's because I've got the plate upside down. Okay, time for some switches now. Yeah, I realised after looking at it. Check my PMs after stream, Jay. Okay, yeah, drop me a DM, dude. Man, these switches are going to be really tight in this plate, I can already tell. Right, okay. So, let's try and get this all put together relatively quickly. I know it's upside down, Adam. I fixed it now. I fixed it. It's just been a stressful build already. When you have the likes of Salvin and Wilbur critiquing what you're doing, it gets a little bit nerve-wracking at times. Let's go bent pin, so let's just fix this. Man, this plate's tight. You're going to have to put some serious pressure on this when we put it together to get it to fit together well. Will Color Chrome work on the aubergine Virgo? I can't visualize color stem live. It should do. My Virgo is aubergine as well. And Color Chrome should look really good on that board. This is where I need some of those thumb condoms again, because this is going to be a really stiff plate to build on. Is it true you're going to go full-time prototypist? So, I mean, there's probably a couple of misconceptions there. Like, I already work full-time hours for prototypist. Like, that's just a given. Like, I put more than 35 hours a week into prototypist, significantly more, probably closer to 60 hours a week minimum. But I don't get paid by prototypist. I own the company, but I don't take any payment. I don't take any dividends. I don't take any stock. I don't get given anything. I don't take any money out of the business. Every single penny that prototypist earns gets reinvested back into the business as it stands right now. That may change in the future, but that's how it stands right now. At the minute, I do still have a day job that I work Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. That's working for a financial institution in fintech. That ends on the 14th.
Very nice.
Ooh, very nice. Disco Crocodile, thank you very much. A whole 12 months. Thank you, dude. Happy birthday. Happy Top Clack birthday. That job with in fintech ends on the 14th of April. They are making me redundant, which means I'll no longer have a day job at that point, which means that the only job I will have will be working for prototypists and doing all of the prototypist stuff. Packaging, orders, sorting out the website, doing the VAT returns, all of those kinds of things, managing the warehouse, inventory, streaming, you name it, it'll still happen. But the plan is still to not pay myself, not take a salary, and reinvest every penny back into the business. And then at the start of 2022, I'll effectively have taken an 8 or 9 month sabbatical from the day job. I'll decide whether I want to work full-time for prototypist ongoing. I'll decide whether I want to go and find a replacement for my current day job as it is today, or I'll decide to retire. Those are the 3 options I have available to me. Just retire in full and wind down prototypist over a few months and leave it at that. Those are the 3 options I have available to me, and I'll make that decision at the start of 2022. That's currently how things are, and that's how I foresee them going. That's the plan I'm working to anyway. Things may change between now and then, you know, the best laid plans of mice and men, all that kind of stuff, but that's currently my plan. A bear, like a polar bear? Yeah. If you want to buy as a bear, feel free. You can get them cheap in Russia. You probably can. It's an old joke where Brian left the stream for a few minutes and said, "Bear with me," and I was like, "Where's his bear?" And Chat and I were just joking about him having a bear, and that he'd gone to feed his pet bear or something, when he'd actually just gone to the loo. Can you give a little update on Lodestone? Yeah, so Full and I designed Lodestone, the prototype actually just on the wall behind me here. That's the third prototype, I think. That's that one just there. The board works. It does everything we intended it to do. Maglev works a treat. The board works a treat. The board looks great. It sounds as good as we wanted it to and everything else. But there's still a few bits and pieces that we want to change in terms of materials, some internal parts, and a few other bits and pieces. And it's currently on hold until we get around to doing that, purely because Flex has got other things on with his group buys. He's got another design in the works. He's working with some other designers as well. And I had the JR1 group buy and a few other things going on, plus being made redundant. So we just haven't got around to picking up the mantle back on that one. We will. It's still on the back burner. It'll still happen. But we just haven't had a chance to develop the design any further since maybe August time last year. I think black and white fits everything personally. Colours on colour chroma accenty. Yeah, I think black and white will look great on most boards. Okay. Slowly making some progress. Hopefully it won't take too long to finish the rest of this board off, solder it together, and then come up with some way of mounting it inside the case. Bower light isn't something that's on my radar, to be honest with you. There's quite a few other boards in that kind of category that would fit the bill for me, but I like the Bower itself. I think it's a great board. I remember signing one of the prototypes for Dixie at in Seattle at the meetup in Seattle back in 2019. I'm planning on building my own 6% keyboard. Do you have any suggestions? Suggestions would entirely depend on budget and what sort of build you're looking for, Jano. So I would recommend joining the Top Clack Discord down below, and you'll be able to look at different options there and have a chat with some people who are ingrained in the hobby and could probably guide you a little bit better than I can on a stream. Okay. I didn't enter the Iron 165 raffle. No, I already have an Iron 165. I already have an Iron 180. I didn't want to enter the raffle for another one to take away a spot from someone else. There's far more people deserving of having an Iron 165 in the community than me. Okay. If anyone got a teal one though and would like me to build it, I'd build that for free. I really would. I want to see the teal one in real life. I'm gonna have to put some pressure on this side when we screw it together. It's actually purple. I know it looks blue in the light. I promise you it's purple. It's just the way the light is on this stream. Yeah, there's no need for me, Debs, to have more than one Iron 165. My Iron 165 is actually just on a shelf just over here. It's difficult for me to show you on camera, but I promise you it's just out of camera shot. What PC board are you most looking forward to? I've actually just ordered a PC board as part of someone's prototype run, so I can't share more details at the minute, but that's probably the most excited I am about one. What's my favorite polycarbonate board I own is probably a different question, and it would be a toss-up between my TMO 50 V2, which is in a smoked grey polycarbonate, or my PC LZ ST, which was the first polycarbonate board I ever saw in real life. Does my iron still have grain on it? Yes, it does. Yes. Okay, almost there now, guys, with the switches being input. Then we can get onto soldering. And just remember, guys, when we're soldering, you guys can ask me any question about life, the way I do things, anything that you want to ask me about, the universe, you name it. You can ask me a question about anything you'd like whilst I'm soldering. As long as it's stream safe, I will answer in any way, shape, or form I can. You can ask me anything you would like. I'm an open book, an open resource. Use my knowledge as you will. Ask me a question you think I probably can't answer if you really want to. If you can think of something that you would suspect that I couldn't answer without Googling, ask me that as well. Let's see what I know and what I don't know. So we'll do that while we're soldering. All you need to do is tag me with @TopClack and I'll answer any questions that you guys throw at me, as long as it's stream safe and Twitch safe. As long as I'm not going to get banned and it's not going to break terms of service. For obviously you didn't tag me, so I'm not going to answer that. Okay, I'll wait for your questions to roll in, guys, because we'll be ready to solder in just about a minute. Okay, almost there, guys. So if you have got any questions, now's the time to get them into chat. You ask me about life, the universe, anything you want at all. Okay, last switch. Remember, we're not putting switches here or here because we're going wing keyless on this particular build. And we're probably going to be rebuilding it, let's be honest. Okay, I'm just going to check the plate and PCB assembly, make sure everything's aligned nicely, make sure we've got no bent pins. So I'm just going row by row and just checking for bent pins now. Okay, I don't see any bent pins as yet. Just double checking. Okay, looks like we're all good to go. Okay, so whilst I solder, guys, as I said, you can ask me anything you like and I will try my best to answer as open and honestly as I can. And I won't pass the book or anything else. I'll try and answer everything you ask, as long as I can do it in a Twitch stream safe way. I will answer your questions. She says, how is Jane doing? I don't know anyone called Jane in real life, so I really don't know. I don't know who Jane is or anything else, but yeah, if it's someone specific you'd like me to check up on, let me know. I'm happy to have a look at that for you, But I literally don't know anyone called Jane in real life. In fact, I do, but I haven't spoken to her in about 8 or 9 years. I'm just soldering down the edge of this board here and just making sure it's all pushed together nicely because it is stretching just a little bit. And then we're just going to do a couple of switches in the center. And then we're just going to do the other edge as well. Just make sure everything's pinned together in the correct place and position. In fact, that's looking all right just there. And then once I've done this edge, I'll start to answer your questions, guys. Okay, right. Probably says, where do babies come from? I'm not going to answer that one. I can't answer it stream safe. But when a man loves a woman and they get on very, very well, babies happen. Adam says, what should the community be doing about knockoff keycap sets? How do you feel about people buying cheap Chinese equivalents of sets that change hands for $400 on MM? Okay, so First of all, let's deal with. There's two issues here. The first one is flipping. Well, the second one is flipping. Let's deal with that first. I don't like people who flip. I don't like to flip myself. I have sold one or two things at a little bit more than what I bought from them, and I've always felt bad about doing it. And I don't mean like excessively marked up or anything, but personally, I've done that a couple of times. It's like with extras. I don't like on the website. I don't like pricing extras at more than like 10 or 15% above what the group buy price was. It just feels a little bit. I don't know. Like personally, I don't like it. I can understand why people do it, but I don't like it. In terms of the other side of the question, which is about the knockoff sets, my biggest issue with them is that the designers don't get the recognition for those sets that then sell. So if you get a knockoff set of, say, I don't know, 8008, Dixie's not getting a cut of that. But Dixie was the guy that came up with that colorway. And, you know, that's my biggest issue with it. It's not the fact that they make them, it's the fact that they make them without the designer's permission, without giving the designer a cut. That's the issue there in my head. Like, if someone made a Striker clone, Zambamon's not going to get any royalties for that, even though he designed Striker with its whole theme and everything else. That's the kind of thing that jars with me a little bit. That's what I dislike about it. If we didn't have the designers in this community, we wouldn't have the community in the first place. It takes people with design and vision and effort to make the products that we see and want to buy. And if we lost that and we didn't protect our designers, then we'd be in a very bad position, is my gut feeling on it. Okay. Next question comes from Ray. He says, are you more excited for Grosjean's IndyCar career or K-Mag's sports car career? K-Mag, I think. Grosjean's okay, but I never really gelled with him as a driver. I'm far more excited for K-Mag. I think he's going to do just great. Okay. Have you been to the McLaren Technology Center? I've driven past it a couple of times. I've never been in. I wish I could. I'm going to turn streamer mode on Discord because I've just realized you guys can probably hear those bleeps when we had to restart the stream. I forgot to do that, so let me do that right now. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so I haven't been inside the McLaren Technology Center. I would love to go one day. Like, it would be a dream come true to visit there. Like, absolutely dream come true. I'm a huge McLaren fan. And it's going to be exciting this year having an Aussie on the team as well. Wait, what? Oh, there it is. I was struggling to find a pin then. I found it. Razor Green build when? I'm not a fan of Razor Greens. I don't think they're a terrible switch, but it's not something I'm actively wanting to use. If a customer asked me to build it 100-man, I would absolutely build one on stream. I just need a customer who would want that and to ask me to do it. But if someone does, I will gladly build it for them. Okay. Have you invested in Bitcoin and what's your opinion with decentralized currencies like it? So the really interesting thing about blockchain technologies is the way that the ledgers are open source. I think it could be a huge thing for banking in the future, and I think that banks and financial institutions have been very slow in the uptake for it. I think there's a lot of potential opportunity in there and in manufacturing for things to be improved on and reliability to be improved as well. I think blockchain technology has a huge future. Whether crypto has a future as a currency, I'm not sure. I think it's going to really depend on the next 10 or 15 years and how it develops and how it moves forward. And it depends on whether it falls under a security or not in the future as well. It's kind of a little bit confusing, a bit of grey area. My gut feel on crypto is that it'll become more important over the next 5 years, then it'll drop in kind of value towards the 10-year mark, and then we'll start to see the uptake in about 5 years' time in other industries where blockchain is used in other useful manufacturing, additive, banking, social, healthcare, that kind of stuff environments. I think the technology behind it has a lot more potential than the actual crypto itself, is my gut feel. Do I have any Bitcoin? Right now I have 0 Bitcoin. I did used to have quite a lot of Bitcoins, and I sold them about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, something like that. That helped pay for my wedding. It also bought me a car at the time, which I don't have anymore, but it did buy me a car at the time as well. As of right now, I have some small holdings in stocks and shares, some larger investments in some hedge funds and things, but well, not in hedge funds. I haven't like given money to hedge funds, but like in some of their stocks and stuff like Melvin and things like that. What's your experience with the laser cutter? How much work was it to tune compared with 3D printers? A lot. Like I'd probably put maybe 100 hours into that machine just to get it cutting properly. It took a lot of testing and working out with. What's your difference in feel for a tactile switch between a 14mm and a 16mm spring? I haven't really tried tactiles with longer springs, so I can't answer that, I'm afraid. Ask on a Discord server, that'll get you more options and more answers. Favoris says, when it comes to buying extras of kits that don't meet MOQ, especially when it's by a long shot, like some no2 UKs, what factors get taken into consideration when deciding to do so? Profit margins, how much profit there is in the rest of the set, what sort of capacity the vendors can buy up to, what sort of interest it's had in the UK and EU in general compared to the rest of the world, and whether we think it's a valuable investment to make it to MOQ. And then finally, if GMK are willing enough to drop the MOQ, because sometimes they might drop it from 100 to 75 or something if we ask nicely. So those are kind of all the things that are taken into consideration. There are some sets, I will be completely honest, I've broken even or made a small loss on just to make sure that MOQ gets met for some no2 UK kits. So yeah. Yeah, you should be tagging me. Adam's right. That one Brody says, have you tracked how much you spent in total for keyboards? Curious about a ballpark figure. I haven't, but it's in the tens of thousands. I know that, but I don't know what the real number is. If I had to guess, I'd put a stab somewhere around £40,000 British pounds, which is probably close to $50,000, I think. But I don't know. And of course, that's not stuff that I still own. That's stuff that I've bought, and some of it I've sold or traded away. To put it into context, I have a couple of hundred key sets, mostly GMK, some other bits and pieces in there. I have a couple of hundred keyboards, mostly modern customs, some vintage boards, and some other bits and pieces in there. You can make your own estimations from that. But it's difficult to say. Like, I have no real clue what everything's worth, and I have no real clue of everything that's in the board. I don't have like a catalog or a listed out description of everything I own. And without that, it's kind of purposeful that I don't have that, because I'd probably be scared, shocked, and annoyed by the number, and I'd probably just instantly put a lot up for sale. So, yeah, that's. Put it this way, it worries me when I see the pile in the workshop of the stuff that I haven't built yet that's in my collection. I get nervous and I have sleepless nights about it, because there's just a lot of stuff there. Yeah, it does make me really nervous, like genuinely. One Drunk Man says, do you put anything into your beard? Yes, beard oils once every other day. I put a nice amount of beard oils in there, and I shampoo it every Sunday night after I finish streaming, because it stinks like solder smoke. So I go home, have a shower, wash my beard with some beard shampoo in the shower, and then I'll put some oil in it once I've had a shower and give it a brush and a straighten as well. I love you for off the pink. Thank you. I try. Mini pretzels or salted sticks? Salted large pretzels. We have a company here called Marks and Spencer's. They do pretzels that are about so big, and they're crunchy and hard, and they're covered in salt. Perfect. What's the best way of contacting you about having a prototype vendor? So Kane, drop me an email at j@prototypist.net. What's an example of a topic where you have changed your mind from your original stance? Oh my gosh. So many. Changing my mind. Like, some people seem to think that people can't change their minds, right? This is a bit of a general rant rather than answering the question, but some people seem to think that once you make a decision, that's your decision for life, and you can't change a stance, and that you can't be a different person or have a different opinion a couple of years down the line. But that's not true. Like, we grow as humans by learning from our experiences and changing our opinions about things on a daily basis. That happens all the time as part of our learning process as we're growing up. You think it's a great idea to put something in your mouth when you're a baby. You quickly learn that that's not the case, and you don't put it in your mouth anymore. That's an example of people learning and growing from stuff. And I think that happens a lot in everyday life that you don't really attribute it to. And yeah, I don't think any opinion should be one that's held forever, or you can't state that it's an opinion that you'll hold forever, because things can change and times can change, and what you thought one day could be completely different another day. So I think people grow over time and have decisions that change more and more frequently. Like, that's a thing humans have. We have this great capacity for accepting and adopting on change, and we often miss that in people. More specific to the question, I guess at one point, like, I didn't think that I'd be able to be active in this hobby the way I am. Like, I thought when I was tempted to start streaming, people kind of telling me not to bother and that it wouldn't be worthwhile and that I shouldn't do it. The same when I decided to become a vendor, people told me I shouldn't do it and not to bother and it wouldn't be worthwhile. And I held that opinion for a while until I said, you know what, I'm just going to try it. And slowly my opinions changed. And I've realized that anyone can do whatever they want if they set their minds to it. That's something that I've grown on. The other big one that I've grown on over the past year is mental health. I didn't really understand when people said a couple of years back at work that they were feeling burnt out or stressed, or it was too much and they had mental health issues, or they needed a day to themselves just to cope. I didn't understand it because I'd never experienced it. But something that I've learned across the back end of 2019 and across 2020 is just really how mental health affects people. I've had my own challenges that I've gone through on a mental health perspective. I've taken time off for the first time in 15, 16 years for mental health issues from my day job. And, I'd never had a sick day until I took some off for that. So I've had a real kind of like coming of age journey around what it actually means in terms of mental health and how different people can be affected in different ways. So that's something I've changed my opinion on over the past few years. And it's not something I've consciously changed my opinion on, it's just something that's happened. And that's how most opinion changes happen. You don't realize you're changing your opinion on something. It just happens naturally through your life experience. Good question. I like that one. Okay. Let's scroll back up and catch the next question. Recently bought the TS100. Which tip are you using? I'm just using the standard one, which is the TSB2. So there you go, TSB2. If safety weren't an issue, what series and track would you like to see a race at? I would like to see Formula 1 at the full Nürburgring. That's what I would love to see. Formula 1 at the full Nürburgring. I think that would be amazing. Are you involved in any securities work at all? Hello from a fellow financial professional across the front. Hello. No, I'm not. So my work is heavily involved in technology infrastructure and adaptation across that of a banking network across the whole of the UK. So the company I work for has thousands of retail outlets and...
Ooh, very nice.
Thank you very much, Nordhell, for the 4 months of subscriptions. I appreciate that. So we have thousands of locations across the UK. My forte is very much in terms of technological infrastructure and enforcing change or implementing changes of technology that change how we interact with customers. I don't have any direct customer dealings. I don't have any policy kind of decision stuff. It's more around the technological infrastructure and how that's affecting how we work as a company. That's what I've done for the last 5 or 6 years and been part of the transformation program that the company's gone on. You have a laser cutter? Yes, I have a laser cutter. It's just through the wall just there. Yeah, blockchain tech for identification, verification, and property ownership is very promising. Yeah, like that's something that really interests me. What we can use blockchain technology for, other than just for cryptocurrency, is really where the interest is for me. Like, there are so many different things that you could do that we don't implement today, but from a security perspective, it could be fantastic. Just database security, simple things like database security could be improved significantly. There's a lot of really cool things that people are working on around the world. regarding blockchain technology and how it could be implemented into everyday life. Number would keep you up at night. Probably. Maybe. Artisan collection too. I don't really show my artisan collection because every time I do, I get about 1,000 DMs asking if I can sell someone a cap or trade a certain cap, and I don't like that, so I tend not to share it, but a few people know what I have. Not that I've got like millions of caps, but I've got a few. I'm finally growing a real beard, Jay. Yeah, the beard has been growing for about a year now. On and off. Like, it all came off last May, and then it started growing again around September. But yeah, full beard now. How's the Datsun coming along? Which one? Do you mean the orange Fairlady Z, or do you mean the new blue Datsun truck, the pickup, the 620? If you mean the orange one, it's fine. It's tucked away for the winter. It'll be back out in a couple of months' time, when it'll be recommissioned and put back on the road. I take it off the road every winter just for a couple of months. If you mean the blue truck, I actually recorded a whole raft of videos on my phone yesterday about work I was doing on it, and every single one of them was recorded in slow motion for some reason. So I never uploaded them onto Insta, which I usually do. I can't fix them, so they're probably never going to get uploaded. But effectively what I was doing was getting it ready for its road legal testing here in the UK, making sure all the electronics work and a few other bits and pieces. But it should be in for its road legal test on the 9th of March. And then once that's done, I can send off all of the registration forms for here in the UK. And about 5 weeks later, it should be road legal, assuming it passes that test. Which the only issue I have right now on that test is the braking, because I can't test that without taking it out on the road. That's one big worry I have, but that's a relatively easy fix either way. And the other issue I have is around the steering column, because it's got a little bit of play in it, but I don't have the replacement parts, and I'm not going to get them before that test. So that's one of my other worries. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm optimistic and confident it'll be okay. Dealingson, thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Start using ANSI. I do use ANSI, Russ. This board's ANSI. This board is ANSI. Look, ANSI there. Any new lodestone leaks? Yeah, it's on the shelf just here. This is lodestone right there. That's the prototype. This is lodestone. This is prototype 3, and this is it being magnetically repulsed. There you go, guys. It's a little bit... I haven't used it for a while, but there you go. You can see better from this angle, I think. No, it's not Bluetooth. It's USB. It's not your Yuri, it's mine. Blockchain in place of a traditional database is significantly slower. There's a bit too much blockchain hype in the software industry. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that changes. BBC had a recent article looking at the energy use of crypto mining and the effects it could be on the environment due to the large amount of energy. Yeah, so crypto mining is something very different to how blockchain technology could be used. They're very, very different. Please keep orange an option. Yeah, I will do. This set of Yuri? Did I buy it off you full? I don't think this is the one I bought off you. I'm pretty sure I didn't buy that off you. I'm pretty sure the version I bought off you is still in the bag you sent it to me in. Because this one came with international kit. This is pretty much all of the kits. Like, this is everything that you could get from Yuri. Thanks, Clack. Have a good night. With the scuffed KC. Yeah, we'll do a fixed KC build when I get the PCB from Salvin. Okay. Board is all soldered. Next job is to see if we can't put it together. I have no idea how we're going to actually fasten this all together now, you know, guys. Like, I genuinely have no idea how we're going to do this. Talk about scuffed builds. This is scuffed 101. Okay. So that fits. What we need to do is probably use a shorter JST cable as well. That's a slight worry. And I did notice that the board itself didn't come with any screws for the daughter board. Like, this wasn't something that Keycult sent me, was any screws for the daughter board. So I'm wondering if these will fit. Let's have a see if these will fit. If they will, we can use these screws. Yeah, they fit. They fit just nice. So let's use these. Gullfoil region. Definitely the Gullfoil livery. Okay, I'm just going to put 2 screws in the daughter board for now. Doesn't need any more than that because we're going to have to take this apart at some point to rebuild it anyway. Okay. And the other problem we might have is getting the cable to sit in a position where it's not going to interfere because it's so long. Yeah, okay, so we're rocking on the cable. So, how do we fix that? I think we need a shorter JST cable, but I don't have one. Okay, that's a little bit rubbish. Okay, so we can't fix that because we can't flatten the cable. We definitely need the Wilbur PCB. Definitely need the Wilbur PCB. That's the only way that this is going to ever work perfectly. Let's take an executive decision to not use a cable today, and let's just put the board together as it goes. Let's just do that. Time to cut the cable to add scuffness. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Like we're trying something that's not been done before. So I'm just going to desolder this cable, and then we'll just put the board together, and I'll just rebuild it with the actual proper PCB from Heine in the future. We'll get there. We'll get there. We can just pretend it works, right? There we go. There we go. Got into the I-165 group buy. Might go for the teal, but unsure on keycap set for it. GMK Solarized Dark would be my guess. +1 for the future. There we go. Okay, so that fits together a little bit better now. Okay, so first job is to put the top case on, flip it over, and screw the board together.
Very nice.
A real big boss. Thank you very much for 5 months of subs. I appreciate that, man. There we go. Cyrus Zay is asking, do you have it in Space Gray? Do I have what in Space Gray? Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, you're talking about .mkb's iron? Hey, Basic Bills, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Board build failed. Hey man, like not everything can go perfect on a stream, so I'm more than happy to show a board that just doesn't work. Like, we tried something. I tried to make an ISO Keycult. It hasn't worked. Like, I think I can get it to work. A short JST cable, and I think I can get it to work. But we've got a better solution now, which we didn't have before, which is the new PCB from Wilbur, which is on Salvin's website, which we're going to sort out. Just leave off the brass weight until you get the proper PCB. Yeah, we can do that. Or I can just rest the case over the top of it. I think we've got one more to go. Okay. Okay, so there's no way that I can screw this on. We are completely accepting of that because I've not put the screws in anyway because I knew I wouldn't be able to screw them. But we can assume that it's built from here. We can see exactly how it's going to look. So you can see that this is the board. This is how it looks. This is a Keycult Phantom number 2. Let me adjust the lighting so it's a little bit more realistic. Just leave the breastplate off. I'm just not going to screw it together. It's fine. Let me adjust the lighting in a second, guys. Get the lighting a little bit more realistic for the actual color. Okay, that's a little bit closer. So you guys can see there that it's much more purple in color. It is purple. It is purple. It's just the way the lighting is in here. Like I have really, really bright stream lights, and they wash out the purple a little bit and make it look blue. That's all it is. But yeah, that's the color it is. That's the color purple we've got there. So there we go. Much more purple in this light. Okay. Screws are overrated. Yeah. Now it's really nice. Yeah, it's the Phantom colorway. It looks great. It looks fantastic. But it does mean we're now at the time where you guys can choose the keycaps that we're going to use. So we do have a few different choices. So I'm going to bring up a poll for you. Help if I plugged in my keyboard. Okay, we have a few different choices, and I'll show you the choices in a second. We have SA Phantom. We also have GMK Plum. And then we have the outside option of GMK Ski Data. Okay, so I'm going to start a poll up for 5 minutes. You guys are going to pick which keycaps we put on there. And I'll show you them once the poll's running. So the poll is now running. I've just got the results up. We're going to have the option of SA Phantom, which is really purple. And it is a really good match for the case. Trust me, the lighting doesn't do this justice, but it is a really good match for the case. Like this color here is pretty much what the case is like. It's really close. It's just the different way the lights are showing it. I promise you. I promise you it's purple. I promise you it is purple. The picture that James uses is really close. So like this actually looks really good in real life. It probably doesn't look so good here. But we have SA Phantom. That's choice number 1. We have the full kit here. This is the rest of the kit here as well. So we've got the rest of the keycaps, space bars, whatever. Imagine if Phantom loses. Well, who knows? We have the outside odds of Ski Data. I just think the orange is going to look really good with the purple, and the grey is kind of like an in-between colour anyway. So I just figured that this might be the outside chance. R1 Ski Data. Maybe an outside chance. And then the final option is GMK Plum, which kind of fits the brass and purple theme. Yeah, well, it's just the way I have the lights, because I have the lights really bright so I can actually see what I'm doing. Like in this light, I would not want to solder in this light, but it's much more natural light as it is right now. So, yeah. Those are your 3 choices, guys. GMK Plum, SA Phantom, or GMK Ski Data R2, which is, I get it's an outside chance and it's probably going to look a little bit weird, but I'll let you guys pick from those 3. So, Static Age, one of our friends from Clack is called MountainBlocks, and sadly we got news today that he has passed away. So that's why we're saying RIP MountainBlocks. We wish him the best wherever he is right now, and we hope he's doing just okay. We know he's passed away, but wherever he is, whatever happens after the death, I hope he's more happy now than when he was alive. Yeah. Yeah, he's a Portland guy. Yeah, we only found out today. Mr. Petrov, if you know Mr. Petrov, he found out and mentioned it today. So he was a good close friend of Clack. He's a really nice guy. He's a gentleman, and we just want to honor him. That's why we've got the notification just up here on stream. So there we go. This stream is dedicated to MountainBlocks today. Okay, about halfway through. Most people are going for SA Phantom. Ski Data is actually beating out Plum, which I'm surprised by. Ski Data beating out Plum. I thought everyone would laugh at me for suggesting Ski Data for this, but I think the orange could work. The orange could be a reasonable shout. It could be. I don't know. Looks like SA Phantom is winning though. So we'll put it on the board. I'll show the board off, and then I'm going to go have a nice chat with Salvin and see if I can't arrange one of these additional PCBs. Let me get rid of Switch Header as well. I realise that's taking up a bit of the stream. Always tried to not pair case color with keycap color 1-to-1. Yeah, maybe, but like, hey, you only live once, right? And this is a scuffed build. Like, I knew before we even started streaming today that there was a good chance that this board wouldn't even go together because I'd never tested for any of the components. I knew the PCB wasn't designed for this board. It was all just a bit of trial and error. But it was better than having the board sat there just not being used. So yeah, I was more than happy to test it out. Okay. If we're going scuffed, mix 3 GMK sets onto this key, maybe. With the camera settings as they were, I think Ski Data would have looked even better because the colour was not as it should have been. Yeah, it would have done because it would have looked more blue. Yeah, I don't want to adjust the lights too much more because it gives me a really bad headache when it's this kind of natural colour in the lights. But like, it is really, really purple is the board. Like, that's pretty accurate to how the board actually is. That's like really accurate. We'll leave it like this for the rest of the stream so you guys can see, but it's probably going to make the keycaps a little bit dark. Maybe if I lighten this one up. No, it just moves the color. Maybe there, maybe around there. Maybe around there is good. That kind of feels okay. Kind of feels okay. YOLO. It's pretty. It is pretty, and it's ISO, which makes it 10 times better. So there we go. Okay, about 5 seconds left now, guys, on the poll. SA Phantom has won. Let's be honest. Let's rock out the SA Phantom and get this on the board. This is the first time I've used SA in a long time. I'm not sure how I feel about using it, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to use any of the yellow accents on this, guys. You can ask me to all you want, but it's not going to happen. I'm just going to use the standard. I don't know if I need that. No, I don't need that. I don't need that. Okay. Man, I've forgotten how tall and sculpted SA was. Don't need that. We do need that. We do need that. ISO buff true. Oh, it works. Nice. Yeah. What size really useful boxes are you using for keycaps? These are 1 litre boxes. I actually have a ton of them that I want to put up on the store. I just never get round to it. I need to work out which keys we need for this actually. We do need that short shift. Okay. I'll go with that for the escape because why not? Yeah, I'd forgotten how much I dislike SA. This is going to be a fun build. Wait, I don't know why we need 2 of that size shift key, but we've got 2 of it. Okay. Wait, do we need the end key? No, we need the other end key. Don't need an FN. Don't need that. Yeah, page up and page down. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that.
Very nice.
Thank you very much, Bob Oaks, for the subscription. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dude. It's very, very kind of you. Delete. Is that the right one? No, it's wrong. I had to think about that then, where it went. In fact, I think those are the wrong page up and page downs as well, so we probably need to fix those in a minute. We'll see if the other pack has got them in. Step caps lock, because step caps is best. Don't think we need that, and we don't need that either. In fact, let's keep those out, and let's keep those out. Let's take those two off if we can. Just think they're the wrong row. It's that long since I've used SA, I can't remember what the right rows look like.
Ooh,
Camera's not focused on the keyboard. It should be. It should be. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. It's definitely focused on the keyboard, dude. You subscribed for 10 months. Yo, I heard you like 40s. I do like 40s. I've got a few of them. But thank you very much, Kejahata, for the 10 months of subs. Let's move the board this way a touch so you can see. Okay, now let's try and get the rest of these keycaps out of this pack. So many keycaps. So many keycaps. Just going to put the ones we're not going to use back in here. I think that's the spacebar we need. Oh man. Interesting. Let's put those to one side because they're for the smaller kit. And let's go through these. Don't need any numpad, don't need the minus. Lots of numpad keys here. Is that the shift we need for this side? Man, these keys look so big. It's so difficult to tell if that's the size we need. Don't need caps lock. Q. Here we go. Don't need sleep. We've got a key for that. Don't need 8. Okay, cool trays, thanks man. SA so tall, almost comically. Yeah, I'd forgotten just how tall it was, guys. Like, this is so tall here on the board. I'd completely forgotten how tall it was. It's a long time since I've used SA, and this is the first time this set's been mounted on a keyboard as well. Today is the first time it's been mounted on a board. In fact, actually, we are missing a key that we need out of that other set, just for the bottom row of ISO. Insert. That shouldn't be R1 though. Yes, it should be R1. Yes, that's right. R1. Oh gosh, that's so tall. Like, I'd completely forgotten how tall this was. Like, this just looks insane. Okay. Like, I'd completely forgotten just how crazy SA was to look at. Like, this just feels so alien to me right now. And I used to be a huge SA fan. Right, sculpt. SA super tall. It looks nice in pics. Feel weird to type on. Yeah, it does. It's a long time since I've typed on. I used to be like a huge SA fan, but I've not used it in a long time. Like, SA was my jam when I first joined the hobby, but I've not used it in years. We're going to use the rounded ones. A, S, D, F, G, H, J. There we go. Is that the right sculpt? Yes, that's the right sculpt for end. Okay. How does CAM compare to SA? CAM's a little bit flatter. It's like SAR3 but lower. Is there any way to go to find out about open group buys? You can try a few different places. There are metgroupbuys.com, Keycult as well. GeekHack is a great resource. Reddit is always useful as well. Man, this just feels so weird. This is really weird. Like the keycaps are just so tall. I'd completely forgotten that SA was just this tall compared to GMK. Like, it's surprising me how tall it is. Is that right? Sculpt for that, bro? I think so. Yeah. I like the look of Cam. Not gonna lie, tempted to pick up a set. Yeah. If you wish to pick up a set, go for it. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. Okay, almost there now, guys. Just a few more keys to go, and then we'll be done. I was beginning to think we wouldn't have all the alphas, and I know we're missing the one alpha key for here. That's in the other box. That key's in the other box. So we'll grab that in a second. Okay. And there it is. Okay, that is keycaps done. Don't forget to dust off the Jane from before leaving the warehouse. Looks amazing. Like, it looks so good. Like, I really can't wait to get the PCB off of Salvin and Wilbur. I'm going to sort that out straight after the stream today. But here is the board, guys. I have to be careful because it's not screwed together. But here is SA Phantom on the Phantom Keycult number 2. Look how tall these keycaps are, guys. Look how tall they are. There we go. That's the true purple of the board that people said they couldn't see before. It looks so good, right? I need to get this fixed. I'm not going to do a sound test today, guys, because I can't test that it actually works because we've not got the right PCB. But I will do one later on when we actually get the board together. I'll do a quick one, but not a proper one. Bear in mind that this board is not screwed together. But let's pause the music and do a really, really quick sound test. Nothing special. But let's listen. Okay, let's see what you guys think to the sound of this. Very, very basic sound test. Okay, so Unicorn is exactly right. It sounds very thocky and very muted at the same time. That's because the Keycult boards always sound pretty quiet in my use of them. I also have it on this cloth as well as a desk mat, so that's going to absorb some of the sound, but it's still very thocky at the same time. So everything sounds thocky. But I think the other part of it as well is because I'm not used to typing on SA, I'm actually kind of not depressing them properly. I'm kind of like hitting them before I'm expecting to with my fingers, so I'm not depressing correctly. So yeah, sounds almost muted for SA is probably a good way to look at it. But yeah, there we go, guys. That is the Keycult number 2 built-in ISO layout. And now it's time to go and fix the PCB by getting the correct one from Salvan and Wilbur, because they were kind enough to drop in the stream earlier on today and let me know that one was available. So I'm going to arrange that. I'll rebuild this board and then I'll share some pictures of it as well. Maybe I'll send it to Cookie Curls or something like that to get some nice pictures made up of it. Okay, so I think it's time to roll up the stream here, guys. Let me know if you've got any last-minute questions. I'll be back on Top Clack next Friday. Brian and I will both be back. We're both feeling a little bit under the weather this week, but we'll be back doing the standard show on Friday, so we're looking forward to that. I'll be back next weekend as well with another personal build. I think next weekend is going to be my PC Dollinger, as well as a board I was sent to have a look at and review for someone else as well. So this is kind of like a low-profile 60% hot swap board. So probably going to do 2 builds next week. We're going to do the 60% hot swap board that's low profile, and we're going to do my polycarbonate Dollinger as well. So really excited for that. Really sad about MountainBlocks. Big piece to him wherever he is right now. We'll never forget him, and I'll always honor him. I will be wearing my MountainBlocks t-shirts over the next couple of streams just to honor him as well. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts and times for his family. So thanks very much everyone who cares for MountainBlocks and has passed on their goodwill. I really appreciate it. Looks like there's no more questions. So thanks very much, guys, for watching the scuffed Keycult number 2 build stream. It's been good fun trying to get ISO working. It doesn't quite work. I think, well, it could work if I get a shorter JST Connect cable, but we'll fix it by replacing it and using the correct PCB that Wilbur's now done. So that's what we're going to do. That's the next step. But thanks very much for watching, guys. It's been a blast, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.